There we go. Fired up for your Wednesday morning. Sometimes we do need a little juice. Need a little juice to get you going, right? But again, all the stuff that you hear in there, all the stuff we talk about every week, you hear it all over and over and over again. I hope it starts to get in. I hope it starts to sink in how you have to think to get to the life that you want. Like this is how you have to think about life. This is how you have to think about yourself. This is how you have to think about your struggles, your trials, your obstacles. It's about how you think about it. Remember, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you think about it, how you react to it. That's the key. So many people get hung up on what is happening in their life, what is happening to them, what they're going through. That's 10% of it. The 90%, the biggest part of it is not what you're going through, it's how you're thinking about what you're going through, your perspective on it, how you're reacting to it, how you can handle your emotions, your feelings while going through it. We're all human. We're all going to live a very similar experience. We're all going to live a very similar experience. And so you got to know that like this isn't about what's happening. This is about how you're reacting to it. That's what it's about. So when you hear this inspiration, this motivation, this thing that gets you going, you got to start thinking like, man, do I think that way? Like, is that how I think? Or is it so foreign? It's so different. That's why it gets you excited really quick because it's so different. It's like, man, I've never thought it this way. I've never heard of it this way. This isn't how I think. So then I get excited. But then just like it's Andy Frisella in there said, like, but what do you do 5 minutes after you get off this mindset call? Like, what do you do an hour after you get off of the mindset call? Is it back to the same routine? Or are you thinking about life differently? Are you then operating in life differently? You got to know, right? It's not like you have to apply the things that you are learning, ladies and gentlemen. The stuff that I wrote down are all the things that you know, right? You keep doing what's easy, life's going to get hard, but if you do what's hard, life gets easier. Are you training your brain how to do hard things every single day? Have hard conversations, push against your flesh, like all the things that are the hardest for you to do. Again, when we talk success, when we talk about you getting to the life that you want, it's because you're building the capacity. You're growing who you are. So you have to do the hard things that push against you, your nature, what you think you should be doing in your health, in your spiritual life, in your money, in your relationships. Like you have to push against it. You got to do the hard things so that life can get easier for you. But if you keep succumbing to the easy things, Les Brown in there said, if you keep doing the easy stuff, if you keep quitting, if like it's easy to get disgruntled and bitter and lose your dreams and stop chasing your dreams and settle in. Like that's the easy part of life. Look around you. Look around your life. It's the majority of the people around you, right? They've given up on some dream of theirs. They just have settled into some life that they have. That's most of the people. That's very easy. It's hard to fight. It's hard to push back. It's hard to push against it. Like this is hard, but that's what's going to make your life easy. You got to go all in and do the work. You got to go all in and do the work. I don't know, again, what that looks like in your life. You have to take this and apply it in your life. Maybe you just need to go all in a relationship. Like you haven't gone all in with your kids or all in with your spouse or all whatever. Like you haven't gone all in that place. You don't want to be vulnerable. Something said, oh, I don't want to get my heart broken again. I don't know. But that's if you're not going all in that side, you're not going to get the results you want. You're not going all in your business life, right? Maybe you're not going all in business. Maybe you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You start, you stop. Like maybe you're not all in, but you got to go all in life. We only get one life. We only get one of these. I keep reminding y'all that because I'm not sure in your life outside of this that you think that like you have more time than you do. You get one. You have to. Ed Mylett at the end said you got to get intense about your life. You got to get intense. What you hear from me, what I try to like pull out of you is this intensity of like, man, let's go get it. Let's go. Let's get better. And again, it could be material success, sure, but it could just be that like you're fulfilled in life. You have more peace. You have more joy. You have more happiness. You move through life and you don't allow people to dictate your feelings. Like, what would that feel like? That's being intense about your life. That's being intentional. Sure, we could talk about it in a business sense or a financial sense, because at the end of the day, money would make your life better, right? More, I tell people this all the time, right? Money is neither good nor bad. It is a tool to give you options, just so you know, because some of us have stinking thinking when it comes to money. And we've heard messages our entire life. So when people start talking a lot about it, it fires off these beliefs that are not necessarily true. Money is just a tool that brings you options. The more of it you have, the more options you have. The less of it you have, the less options you have. It's that simple. You don't have to put any extra value onto it at all. So if you want more options and like you want your life to have more options, then you need more money. It's that simple. So are we doing the things we know we need to do? Are we being intentional about those things? Are we getting good at those things? Are we pushing against our nature in those things? You got to think about it. Do everything in your like that possible for you. Do everything in your power to get to where you want to go. Do everything in your power to push yourself against the status quo. Do the work, because remember, nobody's coming for you. Again, harsh reminders, but we got to remind ourselves this stuff every once in a while when life gets too comfortable, when we get a little bit like, I'm just kind of going through the days, but I'm not intentional. Nobody's coming for you. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming, right? Like, you got to do the work. You got to do the work yourself. And that's the mindset that you got to be in. I wrote down, don't you want to know what you're made of? Don't you want to know? Like, I know you've been through a lot. Each and every one of y'all on this call, you've been through a lot in your life up to this point. But don't you want to know what your full capacity is? Like how far you can really go, how much you can really push yourself, what your capacity is. Like, don't you want to understand that? Don't you want to know that about yourself? This is a mindset. This is a belief. This is a mindset. Again, this is how you have to think about the life so that you get to the place that you want. It's all a thought process. The last thing I wrote down was you got to take ownership. You got to take ownership of your life. Integrity is doing what you say you're going to do. That means you are taking ownership of it. If it is to be, it's up to me. You got to take ownership of your life. You can't wait for other people to come do it, y'all. You know this stuff, but are we doing what we know? Today is just another reminder. In our text, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class, it says the great ones take responsibility. Are you taking full responsibility of your life? Every aspect of your life. It's not the job's fault. Like, hopefully you've been on these calls long enough to know you cannot point the finger outside of you. There's nothing out there that is controlling you. This is an internal game that creates your external world. I hope by this time you being on these calls, you understand that in every area of your life, right? So you've got to take responsibility for where you are and where you're going. The gap between where you are and where you're going is that uncomfortable journey of changing, of growing, of becoming. But you got to know that it's on you. You're responsible. No one's coming to save you. If you're doing things for other people and then they're not here, you can't regret and be like, man, I did it for them. Nope. At some point, you got to be like, nah, I'm doing this for me. I'm taking responsibility. If I want to give my time there, if I want to give that, then fine. I'll have no regrets. But we're not going to allow anything outside of us to dictate what's happening inside. So again, here's what it says in the text. It says, one of the critical factors separating amateurs from pros is responsibility. People operating at a poverty and working class levels of awareness often see themselves as victims of the powerful. They create invisible mental barriers that in their minds hold them back from moving up. I just want you to know that's an invisible mental barrier. It's invisible, like it's not even a barrier. It's something that is in your beliefs, it's in your thoughts that stop you from moving up. They blame other people for keeping them down, such as their parents, friends, or others of influence during their childhood. People at the middle class level of awareness are a little more evolved, but tend to make safety and security their number one priorities. They hold on so tightly to what they have that they fail to see the real abundance staring them straight in the face. Average people in this category are terrified of losing what they have because their mind is submerged in the cesspool of scarcity. People at this level truly believe supply of money is limited, and if they lose what they have, they'll never get it back. The majority of the population has this belief. People operating at the upper class levels of awareness tend to be unafraid, aggressive, ultra competitive warriors who approach life like a battle. They know there's an abundance and they're out to get it. The upper class tends to operate primarily from ego, but people at the world class levels are a step ahead of the upper class simply because they operate from their spirit self rather than their ego self. The great ones have a thought process, philosophy, and habit all rolled into one that overshadows the rest. I am responsible. I am responsible. The world class realizes they are completely responsible for their success or failure, as well as responsible for giving back some of the blessings bestowed upon them as a result of their tremendous success. Operating from a world class level of awareness almost always precedes their success. The great ones keep marching forward, making a difference in themselves and in the world. Operating from a world class level of awareness precedes your success. This is why if you change your thinking, you're going to change your life, because you're changing up here. You're going to start operating from a higher consciousness, a better level of awareness, and then your success comes. That's why you hear these sayings, you're working twice as hard on yourself as you do on your job or on your business. That's why. Because now that's how we get there. We're changing our thinking, which is changing how we believe, which is changing our actions and our habits, which changes the outcomes that we get. But you got to take responsibility for all the things in your life, y'all. No blaming. Nobody kept you down. There's nobody oppressed you. Like none of those thoughts. And as I say that, like I know there probably have been people that have done that. But what does it benefit you if that's how you think about it? If you're going off to design your ideal life. Remember, life is not about, it's 10% what happens, 90% how you react to it. You might have had people that put you down, that held you back, that stopped you from moving forward, that lied on you, that stole from you, or like you might have had things like that happen. But what does it benefit you to keep thinking about that way, like that side? What does it benefit you? It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't create this next version of yourself. So even if that did happen, you got to think about it differently. You have to react to it differently. You have to use it to point you in the direction of where you're going. It can't be a barrier. So you have to work through these types of things. When we talk about safety and security, it says in here, the middle class, right, values the safety and security. Well, if you're going to go off and design your ideal life, well, you're not always going to be safe and secure. It's not always going to be comfortable. It's not always going to be, I have everything kind of right where I want it in this small life. No, we're going after a big life. You're going after a big vision, a big dream. It's going to cause you to grow, but you might not be able to have that safety net right away. You might not be able to hold on to that safety net. You might have to be jumping off the cliff and building your plane on the way down. It might be scary, but that's how you know what you're made of. That's how you get to know what you're capable of. That's how you get to know what they call it in sports when you're running sprints, your second wind, right? Where you just think, I'm gassed, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. You get this other breath, this other wind, this second wind that keeps you going. In life, you have to experience that. In life, you have to experience your second wind when you're like, man, I can't push any further. I can't go anymore. I've done it all. I'm gassed. I'm done. And then you get people, you get a community around you that says, no, you're not done. Let's go. And you get that second wind of life. Guys, you have to know that that's possible. You have to know that you have to experience that. But nobody's really coming to help you do that. You got to develop this yourself. You got to be responsible yourself. You have to go out and do it. There's tons of abundance in the world. Everything that you want to make happen, you can make happen. But it's dependent on you. Dependent on you. This quote here says, success on any major scale requires you to accept responsibility. In the final analysis, the one quality that all successful people have is the ability to take on responsibility. If it is to be, it's up to me. I'm going to take ownership of my life. What got me here is not going to get me to that next place. So I got to grow. I got to change. I got to learn. It's not my parents. It's not my spouse. It's not my kids. It's not my coworkers. It's not my boss. It's me. It's me. But either I had an old hymn in my right. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Right, not my brother. Not anyway. That's the way my brain works, y'all. Either way, you got to go out. You got to take the responsibility. It says the action step for today: commit to taking total responsibility for everything that happens to you. This one change in thinking has the power to launch you to the world class level faster than any single idea. You got to go make it happen, y'all. I never said it was going to be easy. It's going to be worth it, though. You got to continue to climb this mountain so that you can get the capacity. That's what you're building. Capacity to handle the life that you're asking for. I love you guys. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. Nobody tells you. I'll constantly tell you. Just keep showing up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You're going to keep hearing it over and over again. So one day you believe it, right? That you deserve it. You deserve to win. The people are counting on you. Your family's counting on you. Your loved ones are counting on you. There's people around that you have not yet met that are counting on you to get this information so that you could be a blessing to them at some point in life. You might have to carry them financially. You might have to just carry their mindset. When people go through hard things, who do they reach out to? Maybe that's your role. Maybe that's where you get fulfilled because you got all this. You got poured into, and so now you can pour into somebody else. People are counting on you to take this and go do it and apply it. All right? Go out, do something that scares you today. Push you out of your comfort zone. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. We'll be back here on Friday. Take care, y'all.